Only one in this color in the world. Okay, I'm excited. The day has finally come. The LaFerrari is here. 963 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in only 2.6 seconds. But that is for another day. Right now, I'm about to unveil the spec on this car. It's a Grigio Medio, so there's only 5 in the whole world painted in that color, even less, but one of one in this specification with a carbon fiber roof. So let's start with that. The complete roof is exposed carbon fiber on this car, along with the mirror arms and the mirrors. Carbon fiber on the front bonnet here, also down there. Carbon fiber front bumper, carbon fiber rear bumper, side skirts, the complete interior. The car is wrapped in leather, completely optioned up. This one here went through the Atelier program at the factory, which is just below the tailor-made, but they do say that there are no LaFerraris that are tailor-made, and there's only 500 LaFerraris in the whole world, and only 5% of those are Atelier cars. So this is a very unique spec. It is the only one of its kind in the world and now in Australia. It's got delivery mileage, never been driven, never been registered, still has the plastics on the interior. The car is absolutely brand new. And right now, I am very excited, but just look at it. A V12 hybrid engine car. It's a LaFerrari. Here in Australia, we added one more to the Supercar Advocates collection, and this, I present to you guys, my most favorite, cherished hypercar. Okay, I'm about to get to the specifics of this car. So, starting at the wheels, we've got matte black wheels, that's very optional, with dark blue calipers which matches this Grigio paintwork. These are very unique cars, don't forget. They've got active aerodynamics at the front bumper and at the rear bumper. Ferrari made these cars to challenge the McLaren P1, the Porsche 918 Hybrid Spider. It's a hypercar class. It was the first official hypercar by Ferrari and the first EV car. So you got 160 horsepower out of its EV motor, which in today's terms, 2021, that's not much. But back in 2015, when these cars were released, that's a lot. And another thing that I've got to mention is this exact example here is a 2016 model, so it's one of the last ever produced in the whole world. And you heard that right. so I'm not adding any extra sauce here. This is a very unique car, very special car. One of the last, one of one spec, everything about it is just wow and perfect. But when you look over to the rear end here, what you do get is a touch of red racing stripes down the engine, through this carbon fiber cover. Then you've got that thick EV cables running right throughout. It just tells you that this car is something that's electronically charged. It's another world altogether. And I've got to say, it is mind-boggling. And I can't believe that I'm standing here today seeing this in person. I've waited so long for this car. So to import a car, you've got to get a vehicle import approval here in Australia. Then it has to sit in customs and at bond. And the turnaround time was about 2 months. From the time that you buy a car and you get it cleared, it could take that long. But boy, can I tell you, it's just simply stunning in person. I've said that maybe 10 times. I don't mean to bore you here. Let me bring you over to the back. You really have to look at this rear end, then you appreciate it. Although the car is dark in color, this Grigio Medio, which is like that camouflage army type of color, you could say. But down here, we've got a chrome Cavallino horse, carbon fiber rear bumper, which is an option on a car like this, of course. Carbon fiber rear brake light, which resembles that of an F1 car. So F1 cars have these, they shine red. You actually see that if you watch F1 races. So that's in a carbon fiber cover, which is an option, and carbon fiber rear diffuser, that's another option, with the sports exhaust painted in matte black, also another option. This is the active aerodynamics that I was talking about at the rear bumper. These flaps come down at speeds in excess of 110 kilometers an hour to give the car extra downforce. So it gives it an extra 80 kilograms at the back, where it holds it down to the ground. So it is a race car. Otherwise, these cars here will go whoosh and actually take off. They will fly. Let's get into the Holy Trinity. So the top three trio hypercars. We've got the Porsche 918 Spider, which looks subdued compared to a car like this. Then the McLaren P1, more of a race spec car. It goes low, the spoiler pops up, personally love it. But then the LaFerrari, gorgeous in looks, got the most elegance out of all three. It is the most powerful out of the all three. And they say 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, it is the quickest. But in comparison, you look at it, this looks like a missile. It looks like it's about to take off. It's like a jet fighter. It's all in one. Now, when I compare this to the Enzo, I was just telling my crew, when looking at this, it's curvaceous. So you've got heaps of curves here, soft lines in the car. But the Enzo was sharp, more like an F-16 fighter jet. The Enzo to me feels wider somehow, bigger, longer, quite impressive, especially for a car that was made in 2002 to 2004. This is today's hypercar standard. Personally, it looks gorgeous, as I said, but when compared to the other two hypercars that are out, I think this one here is the icing on the cake. And now it's enough of the exterior, over to the interior. The typical Ferrari interior, leather, carbon fiber, bare, race, inspiring, not spacious, but look at it, it's simply yes. It's a big yes for me, Ferrari. So we've got Alcantara on the center console, carbon fiber, we've got buttons carried over from the Ferrari 458 Speciale, 488, it's quite common. The steering wheel, more of a squarish type of shape here. It's a flat bottom steering wheel. All the buttons that you need are here on the actual steering wheel, including the Manettino, so you can adjust your sport, race mode, CT, which is traction control off, carbon fiber, F1 paddles, and we've got electronic cluster. So your display is now electronic, and leather seats that are actually fixed into the carbon fiber monocoque. So this whole monocoque here is carbon fiber. It's the only Ferrari that has that, apart from the Enzo. We can knock on it and you've got that everywhere, including the doors. They're solid carbon fiber. There's not too much to talk about the interior. You've got the dashboard in Alcantara, and I guess I named all the materials, and I've also got a fire extinguisher which somehow has been lost in transit, although it's somewhere in the boxes provided with the car. But it's all pretty much standard, you could say. Black interior, black seat belts, nothing too flashy here. Matches the exterior of the car, which to me is quite perfect. Now that's a wrap. It's time to take this car for a detail in PPF, and future episodes will feature this beast. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.